No worries. That was a
we have
review of the Bronx album. It's now time for your questions, and we're going to start with Facebook. Always www.facebook.com/Metal Hammer Podcast. I think I might have taken the dashes out of it now to avoid. But anyway, if you look up Metal Hammer Podcast,
yeah, that was confusing.
Well, it was annoying to say it all the time. Anyway, Metal Hammer Podcast, we're on Facebook. Come follow us. And obviously come follow the magazine because we're on there as well. Charlie Morrison says, what are your guesses as to which bands will explode this year? It's a brand new year.
Such a good question.
Those who are listening to us throughout the kind of last few months of last year probably already heard us back in a few bands for this year. But obviously we can run through a few. I mean...
One release that all three of us are probably as equally excited about, maybe me and Merlin more because we've heard it only once, is the new Kvelitak album.
Oh, yeah.
That is about to drop in about 2 months.
Right.
It comes out end of March, I think. And we only heard it once in the office, and we're not really supposed to be talking about it, are we?
I think we've been officially allowed to confirm that it sounds awesome.
It was, it's what you'd be hoping for.
We have literally listened to it once, though.
Yeah.
Can I hear it?
We haven't got a copy.
We haven't got it. Literally, management came over,
to us.
watched us
really?
to make sure, we're not going to rip it and put it up on the internet, or whatever.
But can I hear it one day?
Yeah,
one day.
As soon as I've got.
Is this going to be the new Deftones?
No.
Kvelitak album.
I guess.
I mean, in terms of kind of new bands that either haven't, because Kvelitak obviously kind of blew up in 2010.
Crossfaith last year have really come a long way. So.
Yeah, I mean, they're the band. I mean, to me, the two bands that I'm backing to just be absolutely phenomenal this year. Crossfaith number one, just because I saw them last year and it was after Black Sabbath in Birmingham, which was a very special occasion. Obviously, it was the best gig I saw all year. They are fucking insane. Obviously, I backed Issues. They're another band that definitely aren't to everyone's taste, but I love them, and they're definitely going to be. I think they're the one band which are going to really just be talked about all over the place this year, I should say.
They're definitely controversial.
I don't think they're even controversial, really. I just think they're going to rub up a lot of people.
I'm sensing a lot of people reacting to them, and there's a lot of reaction. I'm hearing more negative responses than positive.
See, I completely disagree with that. But there's not been one other band that I've talked about on this podcast, and I reckon... I don't think I'm being a twat to say I'll probably put forward more new bands out of the three of us on this podcast over the year. Fair enough.
Don't believe it.
And the difference between, and I even checked the video views on the when I talked about them and stuff, and the difference in reaction to every other band I've ever talked about, even Crossfaith and stuff, is like that. It's like 3 or 4 times as many people have come back to say they loved Issues, and they will rub people up the wrong way. But in terms of new bands I've recommended, I'm actually quite impressed with how open-minded people have been, to be honest.
I found most people haven't really liked them, mainly for the vocals. I'd have to say, I don't really get on with them, particularly for the wafer-thin vocals. That's what I don't dig.
I don't know who you're talking about, because there's people who don't like it, and there will be people who don't like it, but people's instant reactions to me when I've put them online and stuff have just been like, this is amazing.
That's crazy. I've just found most people have been like, nah, I don't like that. But they've gotten a massive reaction to it. And I think there will be definitely, like you're saying, ones to watch over this year, because if they're provoking that kind of reaction, whether negative or positive out of people, then people are still talk about them.
They're going to be fucking massive. And if they can make it over here, which is obviously quite a big issue for them because they're just starting out in America, they've only played something like 15 shows or something.
What?
Well, they came from another band called Woe Is Me, who you might have heard of, who did a similar kind of thing, but nowhere near as well. So they already had a bit of a following. And if they can make it over here and kind of get that sound touring internationally, then they're just gonna be fucking huge. And like I said, I know it's not for everyone, and like Emma said, there are people out there who don't like it, and there are people who are probably very vocal about who won't like it, because what they're doing is something extremely different, and it's different to an extent that a lot of metalheads won't like it. But like he said, that's going to just make them all the more massive. But, on a slightly similar but probably more universally accepted note, Crossfaith are obviously going to be amazing.
Bleed From Within.
Bleed From Within,
massive,
I was going to shout
about
that
you
as
were
well.
saying about that.
The new material sounds awesome.
I haven't heard... I think I've heard one track. I haven't heard the record yet. But we both know someone that has. That's been screaming about how
I've heard really, really good things, and I saw them supporting... I went to see mainly Miss May I, when I saw them at the garage a few weeks ago, but I saw Bleed From Within, and they played, I can't remember if they just played one new track, but I remember them playing one new track in particular that sounded absolutely massive. It was like Machine Head level grooves and Lamb of God level grooves and riffs, and it was just, they're going to be, well, hopefully they're going to be big because the new material sounds like it's going to be absolutely wicked. So definitely keep an eye on them.
That album drops in March, and they're also
Is that
embarking on
a bit more closer.
They're embarking on a headline tour with Heart of a Fucking Coward
That'd be
supporting.
amazing.
So how can you imagine for like British metal what a fucking triumph those gigs will be? I cannot recommend those gigs highly enough. Go and check them out. Another band I think you guys should all check out is Brutality Will Prevail, who are supporting Cancer Bats on their tour. That's going to be fucking amazing. A Gently band,
loads, haven't they? It's great.
Circles are going to be making some massive circles, I guess, over 2013.
Yeah, Elia as well, who
Elia.
played on the Radio Work show as well today.
Because they got signed to Basic in December, and I checked them out when we got the email.
Speaking of aliases, I think I've got a new singer. That's Pin from Sixth's new band.
Yeah.
They're on tour with Silosis, I believe, and Devil Soul to Soul this month. Their last EP I thought was really good. I think they're going to be back with some new stuff as well. They're decent. To explode, Dino Kazara, isn't it? He's going to explode. Hey!
Wow.
And one last thing, which is something probably a bit more obscure, is Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, which is like this really fucking fuzzed out, spacey, like just really trippy fucking 70s music. Like their last record sounded more 70s than albums actually made in the 70s. So if you really dig like the whole
Cutting
kind
edge music, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, I know. But if you really dig the whole kind of occult movement, you know, like Ghost and Devil's Blood and Blood Ceremony and maybe Ancient Wisdom to a lesser extent. If you dig what they're doing, as well as like the doom
and
stuff,
Wicked
like,
Wisdom, Jada Pinkett Smith's band.
yeah, Wicked Wisdom, who played Download 3 times in one weekend. I mean, that's pretty
Desperate.
Only
pretty
memorable
impressive.
because we got Will Smith to come out. That was why that was a good set. But no, they are good actually. I was being
fucking check 'em
sarky,
out,
but they
so
are really
cool.
good as well.
So check them out, Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats.
Nice.
I know, Steve, you were about to actually make a serious suggestion then, weren't you, before? Or not?
No, yeah, I mean, probably everyone. What I'm not gonna do is name the same people as we did last year. So you've named a bunch of people. I was just listening to Aliases and I saw they were on that tour. They're a really good band. I can't think of anyone else apart from
Check
people
out
that I usually would
Clutch,
say.
Heights.
Oh
Machine
yeah,
Head,
that's what I was going to say. Clutch.
Joking.
Right.
But new Clutch album,
serious then.
new Clutch album, I think could be the one possibly that turns them from a kind of cult band into, if it's any good, because they're a fucking great, one of the best, most consistent bands of a long time, but they've never really made a massive step up.
Have you seen the artwork?
Hold on, because the next question was a bit more relevant to that. But I just really want to quickly say as well, sorry, because if we're looking at what bands we think are actually going to explode and go huge, Mice and Men are on the verge of going absolutely fucking stratospheric. And the new songs from the re-released The Floods album, they kind of tacked a little cheeky EP on it that sound massive, so I think that they're going to go absolutely huge as well.
And the Defiled as well.
Defiled as well, yeah. I've got them
we've
listed in the album bit.